This is the StarQuest Headlines 2-Minute Update for June 8th, 2018, brought to you by SQPN.com, where faith meets pop culture. I'm Dom Bettinelli. Iceman is back! Hot on the heels of news that the long-awaited Top Gun sequel is now in production, comes news that Maverick's biggest rival in the sky, Iceman, will be back as well. Val Kilmer is returning to the role he filled so ably in 1986. Of course, much has changed since the original film, and not just the actors getting older. We're learning that in the new movie, Tom Cruise's character, Maverick, will now be an instructor, and the plot will deal with drones, fifth-generation fighters, the end of the era of dogfighting, and the fact that the U.S. Navy has seen the end of the Cold War of the original movie and has fought in several wars in the Middle East since then. The film will be out in July 2019. Some fans love to tinker with their favorite films, even quote-unquote improving them. One of those fans has done that for a scene in The Last Jedi. In the original movie is a scene in which Leia is ejected from her starship during an attack and uses the Force to pull herself back inside. Josh Scully's variation sets the scene to Led Zeppelin's epic Immigrant Song, and instead of having Leia flying inside the ship, has her blast through Snoke's ship instead of Admiral Holdo. You have to see it. It's 20 seconds and it's pretty awesome. Ever since Amazon announced it would be doing an epic TV series set in Tolkien's Lord of the Rings Middle-earth, fans have speculated on the involvement of Peter Jackson, given that the director's vision of Tolkien's work was set out in 6 blockbuster movies over the past 16 years. But Jackson says he's not at all involved in the new series, although he understands why the rumor would start. However, it's also true that Amazon's rights to the Lord of the Rings franchise include the right to Jackson's production designs, and there's word that Effects House Weta Workshops is already pulling sets and props out of mothballs. Scientists have been looking for the building blocks of life on Mars for decades, and now they may have found them. To be clear, it doesn't mean that they've found life on Mars, but what they have found is organic material present in 3.5 billion-year-old rocks and seasonal changes in methane in the atmosphere. That's a big step in the direction of life on Mars, though. The scientists caution that carbon-based materials in the rocks could have come from meteorites or volcanoes, but do say they're essential ingredients for life to form. The findings come from the Curiosity rover that's been exploring Mars since 2012, which carries an extremely sophisticated chemical laboratory. The researchers expect Curiosity to give them more data, as well as the next rover, which is set to land in 2020. And that's the StarQuest Headline Update. Find links to the stories and be sure to subscribe for our updates every weekday at SQPN.com. I'm Dom Bettinelli.